Every day is a blank page in the story of your life. Each sunrise carries with it an invitation to start again, to write with intention, to live with purpose, and to shape your destiny through the quiet power of daily discipline. Success, growth, and fulfillment are never accidents. They are the fruit of habits cultivated over time. It is not talent alone that separates the successful from the stagnant. It is consistency. Consistency creates destiny. Every great life is built one ordinary day at a time. We often imagine success as a single shining moment, a breakthrough, a promotion, a victory. But behind every visible success lies 1,000 invisible choices. The writer who finishes a book didn't just sit down one day and pour out brilliance. They showed up every morning, even on the days inspiration was nowhere to be found. The athlete who wins the medal didn't wake up talented one morning. They trained tirelessly, long before the crowd ever saw their face. The person who grows in faith, wisdom, or peace doesn't stumble upon it. They nurture it daily through moments of prayer, reflection, and perseverance. Your life today is a reflection of the habits you practiced yesterday, and your tomorrow will be shaped by the habits you build today. That's why it's so vital to ask yourself, what am I doing every day that leads me closer to my purpose? Because success is not something you wait for, it's something you prepare for, step by step, through faithful consistency. When you study the lives of those who achieved greatness, whether in faith, service, art, or leadership, you find one truth woven through them all: discipline. They learned to master the ordinary before they were ever trusted with the extraordinary. They understood that greatness doesn't begin with applause. It begins in silence, in those unseen hours of commitment when no one is watching. And here's the beautiful truth: God honors consistency. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just have to keep showing up. You don't have to see the whole path. You only need to take the next step faithfully. So many people wait for a big opportunity before giving their best, but the real opportunity is today. The greatest doors open to those who are faithful in the small things. Every habit you build, every routine you follow, every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're shaping your character. You're laying a foundation strong enough to carry the weight of your dreams. Success is not built in comfort. It's built in the quiet perseverance of daily effort. Start your day with gratitude. That one habit alone can transform the way you see life. When you wake up thankful, even before your feet hit the floor, your heart opens to peace. Gratitude takes your eyes off what's missing and fixes them on what's already good. And when your heart is at peace, your actions become purposeful. Then feed your mind with truth. The world is full of noise, opinions, fears, and lies that can fill your thoughts before you even realize it. If you want to live differently, you have to think differently. The mind is like a garden. What you plant in it every day determines what will grow. If you fill it with doubt, you'll reap fear. If you fill it with truth and faith, you'll reap strength. Make it a habit to start each morning with words that remind you of your identity, your purpose, and your worth. Consistency doesn't mean perfection, it means direction. You might stumble, you might fall, you might have days when nothing seems to work. But don't let those moments define you. What matters is that you get back up. Every step forward, even a small one, keeps you on the path toward growth. Consistency is about faithfulness, not flawlessness. Success is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Many people exhaust themselves trying to chase everything, but the wise learn to focus on what truly counts. Build routines that align with your values, habits that move you closer to your calling, not further from it. Spend time with people who lift you higher. Read things that strengthen your soul. Do work that stretches your potential. And remember, even rest is part of consistency. The world may tell you to keep grinding, to never stop, to hustle until you collapse. But rest is not laziness, it's wisdom. It's the rhythm of renewal. A healthy routine includes balance, moments to breathe, reflect, and restore your energy. Even the strongest tree needs time to deepen its roots in silence before it can bear fruit in the open. If you want to change your life, start with your mornings. What you do in the first hour of the day often sets the tone for everything that follows. Instead of rushing into chaos, begin with stillness. Pray, reflect, plan. Speak truth over your day before the world speaks noise into it. A focused morning creates a fruitful day, and when the evening comes, review your day with gratitude and honesty. Don't just ask, "What did I accomplish?" Ask, "Who did I become today?" Success without character is emptiness. But when your habits not only lead you to achieve but also to grow, that's when success becomes meaningful. It's easy to be excited for a day or motivated for a week. But consistency is what carries you through the long journey when the feeling fades, when results take time, when no one is cheering. Motivation may start the fire, but routine keeps it burning. Think of a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't expect a harvest the next morning. He waters, waits, and works every day, trusting that the unseen growth beneath the soil will one day appear. That's what consistency looks like. Faithful effort even when there's no visible result yet. The one who keeps watering will eventually see the fruit. The same principle applies to every area of your life, your health, your relationships, your work, your spiritual growth. Small, steady habits create big change. If you want to grow closer to God, spend time with Him daily. If you want stronger relationships, practice kindness and patience daily. If you want success in your work, show up with integrity and effort daily. Many people look for shortcuts, the quick path to success, the instant reward, but shortcuts often lead to shallow roots. Real success takes time, and that's why consistency matters so much. It builds strength deep within you. It trains your mind and heart to endure. There will be days when you feel like giving up, days when your efforts seem invisible. But remember, every consistent act, no matter how small, is a step forward. When you remain steady in faith and purpose, you are not wasting time, you are building foundation. The results may not come immediately, but they will come surely. There's a quiet power in simply staying committed. When you show up every day not for applause, not for recognition, but because it's the right thing to do, you develop character that no storm can destroy. You become dependable, you become trustworthy, and trust, once built, attracts opportunities, favor, and success. Let your routine reflect your values. If you value growth, invest in learning daily. If you value peace, guard your mind daily. If you value love, express it daily. Your habits reveal your priorities far more than your words do. And above all, let faith be the center of your routine. When you start your day with faith, when you place your trust in something greater than yourself, you walk with confidence even through uncertainty. Faith gives your routine meaning. It turns ordinary actions into divine steps toward purpose. Sometimes people say, "I'll start when I feel ready." But the truth is, readiness comes from doing, not waiting. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Begin with what you have where you are, and trust that consistency will carry you where you need to be. If you stay faithful in the little things, in showing up, in learning, in loving, in giving your best, one day you'll look back and realize that all those small moments became the story of your success. The path to greatness was never about a single leap. It was about thousands of steady steps, one after another, built on the foundation of faith and effort. So wherever you are today, don't underestimate the power of your daily routine. Your habits are shaping your heart, your character, and your future. Choose them wisely, guard them carefully, build them intentionally. Success isn't about luck, it's about lifestyle. It's about what you choose to do each morning, how you respond to challenges, and what you focus on when no one else is watching. It's about waking up each day and saying, I will live with purpose today. I will stay consistent even when I don't see immediate results. I will trust that small faithfulness today will lead to great fruit tomorrow. And one day when you look back, you'll realize that your destiny wasn't determined by one great moment. It was built quietly, faithfully, through the rhythm of your daily habits. Because success doesn't begin with a breakthrough, it begins with a routine. It begins with consistency. And consistency creates destiny. Every day begins the same way, with a sunrise that reminds us that God has given us one more chance. One more day to begin again, to grow, to change, to build, to live with purpose. But too many people wake up rushing, scrolling, worrying, and trying to keep up with a world that never slows down. We live under constant pressure to perform, to prove, to achieve. Yet in that pressure, we often forget the one thing that truly defines success: purpose. Purpose is what gives meaning to every action, every routine, every breath. Without it, even the busiest person can feel empty. With it, even the simplest life can shine with fulfillment. The world tells us to chase more money, more recognition, more followers, more results. But purpose whispers something different. It says, be faithful in what you have. Do what you're called to do. Stay grounded in what truly matters. Real success is not found in competition, but in consistency. It's not found in rushing to the finish line, but in walking daily with integrity. When you live by purpose, your habits begin to reflect something eternal. You no longer do things just because others expect them. You do them because they align with the values you hold deep within. Every great life is built on a foundation of small, steady, daily actions. People often look at those who have achieved greatness and think they were lucky or gifted beyond measure. But if you study their lives, you'll see patterns of discipline, patterns that show up every single day. They wake up early not because they have to, but because they want to steward their time wisely. They speak words of faith instead of fear, because they understand that what you think determines how you live. They prioritize growth, service, and gratitude over comfort and distraction. You see, success isn't a mystery. It's a routine. It's a lifestyle built on habits that honor purpose rather than pressure. The pressure of the world says, hurry up or you'll fall behind. But purpose says, slow down and do it right. The pressure says, look at what everyone else is doing. Purpose says, focus on what you were created to do. When you live by pressure, you become reactive, tossed around by every opinion, every failure, every delay. But when you live by purpose, you become anchored. You can face the winds and storms of life without losing direction. Because purpose is not a feeling, it's a conviction. It's knowing that even if no one applauds, even if the results take time, your work still matters because it's part of something greater than yourself. One of the greatest truths about successful people is that they have learned the power of routine. They understand that success doesn't begin on the big stage, it begins in the quiet moments of discipline. It's what you do when no one's watching that shapes who you become when everyone is. It's the prayer whispered before dawn, the time spent learning when others are sleeping, the decision to stay kind when it would be easier to be harsh. Purpose transforms ordinary routines into acts of excellence. When you wash the dishes, study, or work with purpose, even the smallest tasks carry meaning. You're not just going through motions, you're honoring the life you've been given. Every minute spent with focus and gratitude becomes a seed that grows into something greater over time. But we often let pressure steal that joy. Pressure convinces us that we must do more, be more, have more right now. And in that endless chase, we lose sight of the present moment. We lose our peace. But purpose brings clarity. It helps you see that success is not measured by how fast you climb, but by how faithfully you take each step. When your habits are guided by purpose, you'll begin to live differently. You'll realize that how you start your day matters. The first thoughts you think, the first words you speak, they set the tone for everything that follows. So, start each day with gratitude. Before checking messages or facing the world, pause and thank God for the gift of another sunrise. Gratitude resets the soul. It reminds you that success is not just about reaching goals, it's about appreciating the journey. Next, fill your mind with truth. What you feed your mind daily will shape your outlook and your future. If you fill your mind with fear, comparison, and negativity, you'll live small and anxious. But if you fill it with truth, with hope, wisdom, and faith, you'll live strong and confident. The most successful people are not those who never face doubt. They are those who refuse to let doubt control their routine. They rise above it by anchoring their hearts in what is true. Then, structure your time with purpose. The day belongs to those who plan it. Too many people live reactively, letting circumstances, distractions, and emotions dictate their schedule. But the disciplined learn to master their time. They set priorities. They know when to work, when to rest, and when to pause. Balance is not laziness, it's wisdom. Even the strongest need stillness to stay sharp. Rest is one of the most overlooked habits of success. The world glorifies exhaustion as if running yourself empty is a sign of strength. But even the most fruitful tree cannot bear fruit forever without rest. You need moments of stillness to reconnect with your purpose, to realign your heart, and to renew your strength. Rest is not wasted time, it's sacred time. It's in the quiet that you often hear the clearest direction for your next step. As you continue to build your routine, remember, consistency will take you where motivation cannot. There will be days when you don't feel inspired, when nothing seems to move forward, when everything feels slow. But those are the days that matter most. That's when your routine becomes your strength. Discipline keeps you moving when emotions fade. Faith keeps you steady when progress feels invisible. Purpose over pressure means living by conviction, not by convenience. It means you don't compromise your values for approval. You don't rush your growth to match someone else's timeline. You don't measure your worth by your productivity. You measure it by your faithfulness, by how well you've used what's been entrusted to you. Every great man and woman of purpose has faced seasons of waiting. They didn't give up when things didn't happen fast enough. They stayed faithful in the small tasks, trusting that consistency would prepare them for greater things ahead. And in time it did, because the seeds you plant daily in discipline, gratitude, and perseverance always bear fruit when the time is right. If you want your life to be different, don't just change your goals, change your habits. You don't rise to the level of your dreams, you rise to the level of your discipline. Start by doing the simple things well. Wake up with gratitude, speak kindly, stay committed, live with integrity. These are the true habits of successful people. Not fame, not money, not talent, but faithfulness. When the pressure of life comes, and it will, purpose will hold you steady. The storms may shake you, but they can't destroy what's built on conviction. Every test, every delay, every disappointment becomes part of your training. Because success without struggle produces pride, but success that's refined through faith produces character. Never forget, Pressure will always demand your attention, but purpose will always deserve it. When you live with purpose, you stop chasing what's temporary and start investing in what's eternal. You'll discover that true success is not about being seen, but about being faithful. It's not about impressing others, but about fulfilling the calling that was placed in your heart. At the end of your life, no one will remember how busy you were. They'll remember how purposeful you were and how your actions, words, and habits reflected something greater than yourself. So build your life not on pressure, but on purpose. Build habits that honor your time, your faith, your health, and your calling. Each morning, choose to rise with intention. Each night, choose to rest with gratitude. And between those two moments, live with purpose, consistently, humbly, and faithfully. Because that is where true success is born. You may not see results immediately. The progress may feel slow. But remember this, purpose is patient. It doesn't rush. It builds quietly beneath the surface until one day, everything you've worked for begins to bloom. So, don't let pressure dictate your pace. Let purpose guide your path. Do the small things with great faith. Stay committed even when no one notices. Keep showing up day after day, and trust that what's being built in the unseen will one day shine in the light. The world measures success by results, but heaven measures it by faithfulness. And when you live by purpose, when your habits reflect your values, when your routine flows from your convictions, you are already successful no matter what the world says. Because true success is not about what you achieve, it's about who you become. And when you choose purpose over pressure, you become the kind of person who can face every season, joy or sorrow, victory or setback, with peace, confidence, and grace. That's the life that wins in the end. That's the routine that transforms an ordinary person into an extraordinary example of what faith, discipline, and purpose can do. So today, choose wisely, choose purpose, and let every habit you form be a reflection of who you are meant to be.